Hello, my name is Tom and welcome back to my channel. Today I have another haul for you. I'm going to be going through the books that I got in January and February. I said in my last haul video that I wanted to make an effort to reduce the amount of books that I'm buying and work towards reducing my physical TBR. In January, I feel like I did a really good job of this. I only got 3 new books in January. I bought 1 in person from a shop, I bought 1 online, and I had 1 pre-order arrive. And that was it for January. So I'm really happy with that. And then February happened. So let's just say I have 2 reasonably sized piles here. I have absolutely no idea how many books, but I think if I made them into one pile, you might be able to see it over the top of the table. So I am counting this as a 2-month haul, basically to make myself feel better about it, because it means I have a lot more books to talk about on the channel, but it isn't great for my shelves or my bank balance. So I'm going to get on with it. I have a few packages at the top here that I've already opened, and there are some books that aren't in packages that I bought from shops, but they're in the bottom of this big box, so I'll get to those a bit later on. So the one on the top of the pile is this bag, and it looks like I got this one from Blackwell's. So this is one of the pre-orders that came in. I can't remember if this is the January one or not, but this is Chainsaw Man Volume 4. I think I got the first volume in my previous haul. To distill it down, Chainsaw Man is about a superpowered person, so not a hero and not a villain, but who has chainsaw hands. I don't have very much more background for it. I haven't read the first one yet, and I don't really want to read any synopses. I tend not to read synopses in depth for manga just because they are relatively quick reads for me. You will probably notice quite a lot of manga in this haul. I want to read more of it, but I do like to binge it. However, I think it's going to be quite a while until I start reading Chainsaw Man, because it looks like I've missed some of the volume releases, and they have been really difficult to get hold of in the UK. I was really lucky to pre-order a bunch of them from Blackwell's when I saw them, but I think I ordered this one, it was last summer, so a long time ago. And I think that's what I'm going to try and do from now on with my manga, is make an effort to pre-order. I'm not sure where to put the pile of books because I'm pretty sure it is going to cover my face eventually. I'll put it over there. Alright, on to the next one. We have my first second-hand book for this haul. This is a Doctor Who book, The Monsters Inside by Stephen Cole. This looks like a 9th Doctor and Rose story. This is from the 2005 Doctor Who series. So the other ones in this trio are The Clockwise Man by Justin Richards and Winner Takes All by Jacqueline Rayner. This story takes place after the Doctor and Rose find themselves incarcerated in a deep space prison camp. And this is the last one of the packages that I've already opened. There are 2 books in this one. Okay, I think these were both pre-orders, and the first one is Silence is a Sense by Layla Al-Ammar. A young woman spends her days watching her neighbours through their window. She is a refugee who has seen the failure of the Arab Spring in her homeland and who has been traumatised into silence by her brutal journey from Syria to Britain. So this seems to be the story of a refugee giving a perspective on Britain as an outsider. And it also looks as if she experiences hate crime in this story. There is an attack on a local mosque. It was the blurbs from this one that really got me interested. They talk about how compelling this book is and that it gives a proper real-life view. And the next one is Once There Were Wolves by Charlotte McConaghy. So this is the story of Inti Flynn, an Alaskan biologist who moves to Scotland in order to reintroduce the grey wolf. We have a science-based nature story that turns into a murder mystery, I think. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Really interesting idea. Species reintroduction has been quite a big topic in the UK recently. It's a really interesting one. We live reasonably close to an area that is dealing with some species reintroduction. And there's a lot of talk whether it would be a good idea to reintroduce large predatory mammals. Of course, wolves is one of those. I believe this is completely fictionalised. It doesn't say anywhere if it is semi-non-fiction. I think it is complete fiction. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting read. Okay, on to the first thing to actually open. Let's go with this one. Okay, we have Shibuya Goldfish by Hiroumi Aoi. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. It's A-O-I. Aoi. No. Let's just go with Hiroumi. This is volume 5, and this is going to be another instance of me marathoning manga in that as soon as I thought I might be interested in reading this, I bought every one that I could find. There are going to be several volumes of Shibuya Goldfish in this haul. After my experiences with Chainsaw Man and formerly Seraph of the End, I have decided that bulk buying manga is probably going to be the best way for me to not miss issues. It took me nearly a year to track down a copy of volume 3 of Seraph of the End, and I'm still looking for an affordable volume 5. And it's annoying because I really want to read that manga, but I don't want to put myself in a position where I start reading it, get to a point where I want to carry on, and then realise that I'm never going to be able to read the rest of the series. Shibuya Goldfish looks absolutely insane, to be honest. This volume was published in 2019. It's translated by Co Ransom, and it's literally about giant man-eating goldfish. It is a survival story, and it has a lot of mixed reception. Some people think it's quite exciting, and other people think it's just point-blank ridiculous. I like reading ridiculous things, so whichever way it goes for me, I think I'm going to enjoy reading them. Okay, next one. We have another manga. This is Beastars Volume 4 by Paru Itagaki. Again, this is a new manga to me, and I've done the same thing as with the others here. I have bought a few, and I've also pre-ordered the next couple to come out as well. By my understanding of this manga, it is basically Zootopia, but in a high school. We're investigating the dichotomy between predator and prey, but also this story takes a much darker turn. I believe there's something akin to a black market in flesh, so there are predators that do want to eat prey, and there's some sort of criminal underworld based around that. As usual, I haven't really read a proper synopsis for this, so I can't speak much more on it, other than say that I'm looking forward to when I get to read it. Okay, this is another one that's already open. Oh, and there's two in here. These are both non-fiction books. The first one is Stop Killing Houseplants, A Beginner's Guide to Becoming a Green-Fingered Plant Parent by Harrison James. This title is very self-explanatory. It is a houseplant book. I think I had one or two in my last haul possibly. I know I spoke about For the Love of Begonia in one of my previous videos. I can't remember which one that was. But this is a self-published book from last year, I think. And it's very much practical advice for the ownership of houseplants. So for the list of what's in this book, we have 40 plus beginner-friendly plant profiles to get you started, a complete breakdown of where and how to keep your plants based on the direction of your windows, how to make the perfect potting soil mix, expert tips on repotting, plus 8 ways to propagate your plants, and much more. I can't recommend this book yet, obviously I haven't read it, but this is one that is available if, like me, you're interested in keeping plants and are also very good at making them lose leaves. And the next one, I don't think I've shown a book about this topic before, but it is one that I'm very interested in. And this is Beach Bum Berry's Grog Log. Beach Bum Berry, or Jeff Berry, is his actual name, but he's often referred to as Beach Bum Berry. He is a tiki archaeologist. So tiki is a specific faction of bartending, and it is an escapist vibe, a travel vibe. It basically starts from people wanting to feel like they've been on holiday when they just have one day off a week. But tiki bartending at the beginning was extremely secretive. Lots of the recipes for the drinks were in code, and some of them were made by different bartenders, did different steps, so none of the employees ever had the whole method. Some of the owners of the bars batched certain ingredients so that even the bartenders didn't know what was going into the drinks. It was really secretive and really competitive. And what Beach Bum Berry did was he went back and he broke down these drinks, some by taste, and he found employees of these bars and interviewed them, spent time decoding these recipes, and basically he's dug up the recipes for these very popular lost drinks. And this is one of his recipe books. It's an extremely beautiful book. There are loads and loads of illustrations, and it's very simple. There's some text at the beginning, and there's a resource guide, but other than that, it is just pages of recipes. I am very interested in drink making. It's something that I love doing. It used to be my job, but I invariably end up being the bartender of all the family barbecues. So yeah, this is a book I wanted to pick up for a while, and these drinks are very different to a lot of the classic cocktail drinks that you'll find. So I hope that this will be a helpful guide. Next, this one feels like it might be ring bound, so I'm not sure what this is. Oh, come on. This pull tag is just not working and the cardboard is in my hair. There we go. Why is it shrink wrapped? Okay, you're probably not going to be able to see this book because it is in plastic for no apparent reason. But this is Boosey and Hawkes, The Publishing Story by Helen Wallace. Boosey and Hawkes is a sheet music publishing company. They work in the classical music world. I studied classical music at university, so I love it, and I pick up quite a bit of non-fiction about music. I'm pretty familiar with the history of Boosey and Hawkes, but I've never read a full text on it. They originally started as two separate companies, Boosey and Co. and Hawks and Sons, and they were instrument manufacturers. But this, I believe, goes a lot more into their combination and what happened after the companies stopped manufacturing instruments, because Boosey and Hawks is still running today. They're still publishing and they're still printing sheet music. Okay, here's another one that I've already opened. I'm not sure how I've managed to open so many. Usually I put them to one side, but I suppose this is in a funny shaped box. It doesn't really look like a book. Okay, we have Shibuya Goldfish Volume 3, and if I can get it out, we have the Beastars Volume 2. I've already mentioned these, so I'm not going to talk about them anymore. Okay, I've decided to start a separate manga pile because they're all the same size and it looks lovely and neat. This one can be a mess, and then this one can look nice. And we've also got far enough into the box where I can see the books that aren't boxed, so I'm going to do those now. So these two books I got from a charity bookshop that's associated with a public stately home that's local to me, and they are both music non-fiction. So the first one is John Cage, A Life by David Revill. Yeah, David Revill. I thought I already had this book when I first saw it, but thinking about it, I reckon it's one that I actually borrowed from the library whilst I was at university, because I know I've definitely seen the cover before. This book is from 1992 and is published by Bloomsbury. John Cage is a very influential contemporary musician. He's done a lot of weird stuff. He's really interesting, and I wrote an essay on him at university, so I could speak about him for a very long time, but I'm not going to. If you are interested in him, a simple Google search will tell you a lot about him. And the next one from the same place is My Own Trumpet by Sir Adrian Boult. And I picked this book up because I have no idea who this guy is. And also there's the word trumpet, and that's like a flag word for me, as in something that I would be interested in. So it says here, Sir Adrian Boult is the most distinguished and most gifted living British conductor, and his memories span over 80 years. His mother, also an able musician, wrote an account of his childhood, which shows how before he was 2, he was already picking out tunes on the piano with one finger and singing well, and at 4, reading music and playing seriously. That's why I know his name. I think I have a quote book from this man as a conductor. It's basically a list of things that he said to musicians in ensembles that he was conducting. So I think he has, if this is who I'm thinking of, he has got a pretty good sense of humour. So hopefully this book will be pretty engaging. And the other book that I bought in person was this one. This is the book that I bought in January. We have Mirrorland by Carol Johnstone. Honestly, this was a cover buy. I know nothing about this book. The first paragraph of the synopsis is this. Kat's twin sister Elle has disappeared, but there's one thing Kat is sure of. Her sister isn't dead. She would have felt it. She would have known. I'm not going to read any more than that because I hate synopsis spoilers for thrillers. Okay, and I am going to try and move through these a bit quicker now because there's still many left and I've already been going for quite a while. Okay, the box for this one says Book Depository, but I don't remember buying anything from the Book Depository. So I'm not sure what this one could be. It's another manga. Shibuya Goldfish Volume 4. I'm just going to put this straight in the pile. Yeah, I think it's just got to the point where I'm buying manga from wherever I can find it. Hence my lack of memory in buying anything from the Book Depository. Okay, this one's a bit thicker. Come on. Oh. I forgot about this one. This is one of my pre-orders. Is this the one that arrived in January? I don't remember because I didn't open the boxes. But this is a pre-order. And it's very exciting. Look at the colour. This is Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. So this book is about the filming of a movie in a school that was closed after a number of mysterious deaths. And it says on the back that the deaths are somehow associated with a book, a scandalous memoir as it's described. I love books in school settings. I don't think I've ever read a book set in a closed school. And the trope of the haunted book, cursed book with information that causes people to die is a trope that I love. I will put in the side note that I am terrified of wasps, and it seems that wasps have a lot to do in this book. So as excited as I am to read this book, I am slightly concerned that there may be some heebie-jeebies, throw the book across the room moments with wasps. Okay, this one is also a bit of a funny shape. It's more manga. Oh my goodness. Dropping it. Right. Beastars Volume 1. Shibuya Goldfish Volume 8. And Shibuya Goldfish Volume 6. Moving on. Okay, we've finished the box. So now we're moving on to the packages that didn't fit in the box. Number 1. Oh, that one actually worked. Oh, A Snake Falls to Earth by Darcie Little Badger. This was another of my pre-orders. Oh, look at that cover. That is beautiful. So this book comes from the author of Ilatsue, and it's another indigenous story. It says here that in A Snake Falls to Earth, she draws on traditional Lipan Apache storytelling structure to weave another unforgettable tale of monsters, magic, and family. The synopsis basically says that we have two characters drawn together by a catastrophic event. It isn't very descriptive on the plot. It does talk about the characters, but it uses words in the character description that I have never heard before. So I'm not going to talk on it. I am going to Google these words and I'm going to find out what they mean. But I am very excited to read this book. Okay, this one's sort of an odd shape. So I hope it hasn't gotten squished. It's another manga. Oh, actually, it might not be another manga. There's two in here. We have two more books by Beach Bum Barry. We have Intoxica, the all-new companion volume to Beach Bum Barry's Grog Log. And we have Sippin Safari, in search of the great lost tropical drink recipes and the people behind them. So, two more cocktail recipe books. This one is very big and hardback seeming, so I'm going to guess non-fiction. I'm having better luck with the pull thingies now. Here we have Plantopedia by... Oh, I'm going to go with Adrian. Adrian Barman. Plantopedia, a celebration of nature's greatest show-offs. I love that subtitle. Marvellous at more than 600 beautiful, bold... no. Marvel at more than 600 beautiful, bold and bizarre plants and flowers in this follow-up to the best-selling Creaturepedia. Oh, I didn't know this was a sequel, or, well, a follow-up rather. Oh, just flicking through, this is really pretty. So this is not a non-fiction book per se. It isn't fiction, but it is much more a visual book rather than an informative book. It's a borderline art book, really. Every page is populated by mostly pictures. So I think this is going to be really nice on one of those days where I want to read but I don't want to read and I just want to sit and flick through something really pretty. These stacks are starting to get a bit unmanageable, especially this one. Please don't fall over. Okay, there's only a couple left now. Oh, oh, it didn't work. We have Good Rich People by Eliza Jane Brazier. I think this was a pre-order. A destitute woman deceives her way into the guest house of a Hollywood Hills mansion and inadvertently becomes a target in a twisted game of the wealthy family upstairs. Oh, by the sounds of that, it's not actually about good rich people. It's about murdery rich people, possibly. Oh, this is getting heavy. There we go. Be safe, please. Okay, there's only one left after this. And it's more manga! We have Shibuya Goldfish Volume 2 and Shibuya Goldfish Volume 9. Right, this is the last one, finally. But I have noticed in the pile that I don't have Shibuya Goldfish Volume 1 yet. I know I bought that, but again, this isn't an Amazon parcel, so I'm not sure. Right, I know what this one is now. Okay, this one is super nerdy. This is Coins of England and the United Kingdom, the pre-decimal issue for 2022. So this book is really designed for people in the metal detecting hobby, which isn't what I do. And I have a really small coin collection, but I'm fascinated by what coins look like and how their values are related to today. It's a really weird interest to have. So this book goes through pretty much every known version of every pre-decimal coin, starting from, let's have a look. Okay, so the first date we have in this book is 150 BC. So this literally goes back and discusses in some way, shape or form every coin that has existed in the United Kingdom for a very long time. And on that rather nerdy conclusion, I'm done. Yay. I have a question. Where is Volume 1 of Shibuya Goldfish? I know I got that. Why? I have so many, but not the first one. I suppose I'm going to have to count these now, aren't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 26, 27, 28. Ooh. But I forgive myself. If I divide that into two, because that's 2 months, so that's 14 books a month, which is less than I had in my last haul, I think, I hope. So, I forgive myself. I really do need to reduce the amount of books that I buy. I don't feel quite so guilty when I buy manga because I know I can read one of these in 2 hours. This is probably going to take me several years to read from cover to cover. It's just so... There's just so much information in here. It's really more of a reference book, but I'm probably just going to look at the pretty pictures. I have taken up enough of your time today, so I'm going to leave it here. Have you read any of these books? Let me know. Which of these books made you realise just how nerdy I am? But now it's time for me to say goodbye. I hope to see you next time.